All right, here's a real quick video on how to fix your brand new pressure plate and get it mounted correctly in your brand new flywheel. This is a CB forged 12.5 pound flywheel. They're the same as Scat, AA. They just come in different boxes, but they all measure exactly the same. And this is a brand new genuine Kennedy stage 1 pressure plate. The problem here is the outside diameter where they machine it compared to the recess where it sits inside the flywheel is loose. It clanks around in there. So you can see here, it doesn't seem like much, but when you go to get this thing balanced, if your balance guy bolts it on over here and does all the balance work, and then when you go to put it on and it's over here, this is such a big diameter and it's so heavy, it's going to make a huge difference in the balance of your engine. So you got to get this thing set up right so that it doesn't clank before you take it to your balance guy. There's a couple ways to do it. You can drill it and put roll pins in there, drill the two together, put 3 roll pins in it. But I'm going to do, I do this instead. It's quicker and easier. Take a normal center punch and your little hammer, and then come right around the edges here. I got 3 bolts in here, but come around your edges, and right in each of these gaps here, you're going to want to give it a little dimple, and you go right at the edge and you kind of peen it over and you give it a couple hits. See if I can zoom in here. There. So what it does is it kind of smears the material over a little bit, and we're going to go around and we're going to do that to all the spots, and that will snug it up, and it will essentially increase the diameter of the pressure plate just a tiny bit. I bounce around from side to side. Over here next, and you got to kind of hit it at an outside angle, so you kind of smear it towards the outside edge, and now you're just trying to move the metal a little bit. Doesn't do anything to the strength of the pressure plate. Gonna give it a pretty good whack. And we'll go over here and do this one. You just keep going around and do them all. See, and it smears the metal over and makes just a little bit of a difference there. You might have to go around and do it 2 or 3 times. But your balance guy will appreciate it if you handle this before he gets it, because he's not going to want to balance it if it's moving around inside there. All right, so that's all of them. And I still got to go around again, do it a couple more times. So that way there is pretty tight. This way here still moves a little bit. So we'll go around and do those again on those sides. And then when you get it back from your balance shop, hopefully your balance guy marks this thing for index. Usually they'll put a piece of paint on here, or it works real good if you use a center punch here again, and over here or something, if you center punch 3 dots here and 3 dots over here, or something to make witness marks so that when you go to take this thing off, it goes back on the same way. Because if this thing is rotated even 1 bolt hole set up, it's going to throw off everything after balance. These are terrible out of the box. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back from the balance shop completely filled with holes over here and a whole bunch of weld over here. That's what usually has to happen. They're so far off. I know in the instructions it says that they're balanced, but I don't know where they came up with that, because if you mount this onto a perfectly balanced crank and flywheel, it's not balanced anymore. And it's this. You take them off and you can rotate them around and try and get it best, but it'll rarely perfect, even after getting it all set up centered like this too. So do this, get it all before your balance guy, before you take it to him, because he won't like it if you don't. So I'm going to go around here. It's still clanking just a tiny bit. I'm going to go around and smear these out just a tiny bit more. And then once it's tight, it should be good to go.